He was 8 years old. He had just turned 9. I took him to Florida for his birthday because that was something that I wanted to do for them, go to Disney World. And we went to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. While I was in Orlando, Florida, one of my workers got killed, a guy that used to work for me. He's somebody that I took from Marcy and took him to the area where I had a lot of the drugs being sold that he got killed. While I was in Florida, I made a phone call to New York. They told me that my friend got killed. I would have never thought in my wildest dream that I would ever get arrested for a murder that I did not commit. When I returned to New York City, the following day, the police arrested me. They took me to the precinct, and they asked me where was I on August the 16th. August the 16th, I was in Orlando, Florida. I went to Florida on the 12th, and I returned on the 17th. There was no way I could have done this murder. I had airplane tickets, I had hotel receipts, I had phone records, I had videotape to show where I was. So there's no way I could be convicted of a murder. But not me knowing that the police wanted me up the street that bad because of the drugs that was in the area. They went and they got witnesses to come and take the stand against me. They had a young lady come and take the stand, and she said that she witnessed me do this murder. She actually seen me pull the trigger, me and my friend, and jumped in my car and got away from the scene of the crime. They also went and got another witness, a female that was actually strung out on drugs. She was a crack user, just like the first witness who said that she seen me. They went and got this other witness. What she did, she put me in New York 4 hours before the murder at 2 o'clock in the morning. The murder happened at 2 in the morning. She put me in New York at about 10 o'clock that night, excuse me. At about 10 o'clock that night, she put me in New York. Then they went and got another witness. This witness was a crack user as well. But I didn't know he was a crack user at the time. He started using drugs. He was somebody that used to sell our crack. And what he did, he put me in New York 5 minutes before the murder. And he told the detectives that he seen me, and I asked him, did he see my friend Black? Because my friend Black is the one that got killed. He said he told him that he did see me, and he said that I asked him for Black, and he said that I lifted up my shirt and I showed him the butt of a gun. So what they did, they went and they had 3 witnesses. They had one to say that I did it, and they had 2 to put me in New York. When it was time for me to go to trial, that's when all of this came out. When all this evidence came out, I went to trial. I still never thought I would be convicted because of the evidence, the airplane tickets, the hotel receipts, the phone records, and the videotape. The phone receipt shows that I paid my phone bill in Orlando, Florida, 3 hours before the murder. They wanted me so bad, they never turned over the phone receipt. They withheld that phone receipt. While I was on trial, my lawyer told the district attorney there was a phone receipt. Where is the phone receipt? We told the judge, there's a phone receipt to show that he was in Florida. The detective got on the stand and he blatantly lied, and he said that he never received no phone receipt. So they never was able to show the phone receipt. Unfortunately, my case went to trial. They found me guilty, and I was sentenced to 25 years to life. I laid up in prison, like I said, 24 years, 7 months and 20 days. But during that time, I would have never thought that I would actually lay up in prison that long. I wrote the district attorney every week. Then it came down to I started writing them every month. And I would ask the district attorney, can y'all please investigate my case? That's all I'm asking. Investigate my case because you have an innocent man in jail. And if you would just investigate my case, you would see that you have an innocent man in jail. But they didn't want to do that because they already had a conviction. I didn't know when I went to trial that this one particular witness who came to trial and said that I did the murder, she came and she said she seen me do the murder. This same witness didn't want to go forward and testify. So during trial, before I even got sentenced, this witness came back and she told the judge, she said, I can't live with this nightmare. She said, I sent the innocent man to jail. She actually told the judge this. The judge refused to set my verdict to the side. He said that he felt that this woman was intimidated, she was afraid for her life, and because of the lifestyle I was living, they believed that her trial testimony was the truth, and he still sentenced me. And I went upstate. Like I said, I would have never thought that I would get convicted. Unfortunately, I didn't have no money. I ran out of money because I was locked up for so long. 1 year turned out to 5 years, 5 years turned out to 10 years, 10 years turned out to 15 years. I wrote everybody. I started writing lawyers. I wrote 5 lawyers every week because they had a thing where you could send out free legal mail. I wrote 5 lawyers every week requesting that y'all investigate my case. Not one lawyer would step up and take my case. Not one lawyer would even look at my case. And my letter was the same for every lawyer. You have an innocent man in jail. All I'm asking that you investigate my case. And if you investigate my case and you prove my innocence, I will let you represent me on my lawsuit, because I will have a lawsuit, because I knew I was going to get out. Nobody would take my case. The lawyers that did respond, it was all about how much it's going to cost to review my paperwork and how much it's going to cost to take my case. So I laid up and I was in prison and I got close to the parole board. While I was in prison, I've seen a lot because I was in some of the roughest maximum facilities in New York State. I was in maybe 8 facilities, and the reason because I wasn't one of them good prisoners that did everything by the books, did what I was supposed to. I was in prison, I was angry, I got into a lot of fights. I've cut people. I started oppressing people myself. I've seen people get oppressed. I've seen young men as yourself that went to prison, that was coming to the maximum facilities, that was young, get raped, get stabbed. I've seen gang members, guys that's in gangs, that's in the facilities where I was at, where I'm at, there's a lot of Bloods, a lot of Crips. I've seen them come in, a lot of the older gang members, and they recruit the young brothers as yourself. And a lot of the young brothers, they get involved because some of them want, it's like a protection for some of them, then some of them just want to be involved. I've seen young guys get stabbed for stuff that they had nothing to do with, only because there may be a brother had beef with an older blood, and because a young brother is blood, they actually would retaliate on him. I've seen all of that. You know, prison, I did 10 years in the box, solitary confinement, out of my 24 years. Not all at one time. I've actually did 18 months in solitary confinement, a year in solitary confinement, 2 years in solitary confinement. But out of the 24 and a half years, I did over 10 years in solitary confinement, where you only get 3 showers a week. You get 1 recreation, 1 hour recreation a day, where you go outside and you go into a small cage where they lock you in, they put you in handcuffs, put you in there. Once they put you in the cage, they take off the handcuffs and they put you in the cage, and you stay there for 1 hour. And then you come back, you get 3 small portions of meals every day. The police treat you, and excuse my language, the police treat you like shit, like you're not even human. They treat you like animals. By me being in prison, my sons, all my kids, they grew up without their father, and that's what they missed out on. I watched all my boys grow up while I was in prison. And by me not being there for my boys and being in their life, all 4 of my boys, I got 4 boys, all 4 of my boys been to prison because they hear so much about their father. Your father was the man, he was this, and they were trying to follow my footsteps, which is something that I didn't want for them. I wanted them to go to school and get an education. While I was fighting my case, unfortunately, I caught a break. But unfortunately, it took money to catch a break. What happened was, my son that was 5 years old when I went to prison, unfortunately, he lost his mother to a tragic accident. It took him to lose his mother, and he gave me $50,000. When my son gave me the $50,000, what I did, I hired some investigators, and they came to visit me, and they sat me down, and I told them, this is what's going on. Y'all need to investigate my case. I don't have a lot of money, but I am innocent. And once you start reviewing my paperwork, you will see that I'm innocent. And they did that. They reviewed my paperwork. After 6 months, the money ran out. But they believed that I was innocent. So they continued to work my case. And they worked my case for a whole year. I hired these investigators in April 2013. And they worked for a whole year. They worked 6 months for free. Not free, but they was billing me. They said, well, we're gonna bill you. And when we get you out, we'll get this money back from you off the lawsuit. What I would like to say is that when they investigated me, they actually looked at some paperwork, and there was an affidavit in the file. The affidavit showed that my cousin, I let him use my car. I let him hold my car when I went to Florida. There was some paperwork with his name in there where somebody actually told them that they seen my cousin with my car. My cousin never came forward. He never said, Jonathan, I was involved, that I took the guy home from the scene of the crime. I had nothing to do with this murder whatsoever. I didn't even know he had anything to do with it. They went and spoke with my cousin. They went to South Carolina, they went and spoke with my cousin. And when they spoke with my cousin, he denied everything. But after 4 hours of telling him that we know you was involved, but we know you didn't do it, and it's best to come forward now, after 4 hours, he came forward with the truth. He told them that I had nothing to do with the murder. He actually told them who did the murder, and they told him that we want you to come to New York, and we want you to give us an affidavit, and we want you to put it in black and white, and we want to take a videotape of this. He did that. 4 days later, after he did that, I was told to pack up. I packed my cell up, and I went down to court. When I went down to court, I sat down with the district attorney's office, and they sat me down, and the lady opened up a file. She opened up this folder, and what she did, she pushed over a piece of paper to me, and she said, Jonathan, do you know what this is? It was a piece of paper. I picked it up. I said, no. She said, that's the phone receipt that was in the police files that they had. It shows that you paid your phone bill 3 hours before the murder. I couldn't believe it. She also gave me a letter for me to read. The letter was a letter from the detectives in Orlando, Florida. What happened was that the detectives in New York City, when I told them that I was in Orlando, Florida, they notified the detectives in Orlando, police from New York. And they told them, we have a guy here named Jonathan Fleming saying that he was in Florida at the time of this murder. We want you to investigate this. They investigated it. They did investigate it. And they wrote the detectives in New York. And in that letter, the letter stated that Mr. Fleming was in Florida. We do remember seeing him. He paid his phone bill numerous times. He was with his family. They never turned that letter over neither. They actually withheld that evidence. If not for that evidence being withheld, I would have never went to prison. I thought I was going home at that time. That was in November 2013. I was so happy. I went back. I was telling